Hello, welcome to my channel, and it's that time of the year again where I go over the best bots that I bought this year. This is my TF16 of 2016 video, and before I get into showing you what I've got here, I just want to explain that this year I really struggled to get 16 bots together that in my opinion are better than the rest of the bots I bought. And the reason I've struggled is because this year I've been mostly buying the bots that I really wanted, and as a result, I like pretty much all the bots that I bought this year equally, if that makes any sense to you. And it's been difficult to pick out individuals that mean more to me than the rest. So even though, if you saw my last video where I showed you all the bots I got this year, I got some pretty big ass high end third party figures this year, and you'll see some of the bots I've got on this lot and you'll think, well, what the hell's that doing on his top bots list? That's a piece of shit. He could have put this or that or the other on the list. It's all down to my own personal opinion of which bots I prefer. And until a couple of weeks ago, I still had about four or five spaces left on my 2016 list, and it's only in the last week before Christmas that I've managed to fill in those extra spaces. And personally, I think some of the choices that I've made aren't possibly the best choices I've made. The other bots that I could probably substitute with the ones I'll show you now, but whatever. Anyway, I've managed to narrow it down to 16 bots, and I've even got a couple of honourable mentions. But right, let's get on with it, shall we? This video, because I like to talk about my bots instead of just going like 1 to 16, but like most people do. They just show one picture of the bot and do through the numbers, and their video's over in like 2 minutes flat. It's taken me 2 minutes just to get to this point. So I've got the list here. Let's get on with it. Now, as in last year, because I can't really say which bots are better than the others, I can't put them in a preferential order. I put them in order of chronological order that I purchased them. So without further ado, well, the first bot I'm going to show you, like number one, is this guy. Now, as you know, I got the Tom Henson bot lot at the beginning of the year, and in the Tom Henson bot lot was 2 high-end third-party figures. This guy was one of them. I decided to keep this guy, and the other one was Perfect Effects Leonidas, who I sold to James Lai of me and Max Love Toys at TF Nation as part of the deal of me getting the trader's ticket to go on the stand. Now, even though I got this guy in 10th of January, so I've had it for almost a year, it was only until about 2 days ago that I actually got him out and started playing with him. I'd only got him out the box once before. The rest of the time he's been in his box up in the loft. And I thought, well, I've got to see if this guy's any good. So I got him out and I started playing with him, and wow, yes, he is that good. The thing I like the most about this guy, I mean, this is the Terminous Hexatron Continuum version. This is the one that's in the proper G1 colours. I don't know if you can see, but look how slick and shiny the paint is on him. You see that? The green paint and the purple paint. It's so thick and glossy. It's absolutely glorious. I mean, the paint apps on this guy are amazing. And, he's quite easy to work with and put him into all his 6 different modes. I did most of them without looking at the instructions, which, to be honest, the instructions are quite minimalist on this guy. But yeah, he is amazing, and he's that good. And like I said, I only added him to my TF16 list 2 days ago. And I've had him for almost a year. But there we go. Bot number 1 on my list, Mastermind Creations Terminous Hexatron Continuum. Right, bot number 2. Did a review on this earlier in the year when I got it. Takara Chronoform Watch Robo from the Micro Change line. This is a pre-transformer. It's got a stamp on the back that says 1983. So this thing's 33 years old. Now, I had one of these when I was a kid, so it's part of my old gang, the bots that I had when I was a kid. Massive sentimental value for this guy. I got a knockoff watch bot, but it was a complete piece of crap. But I managed to pick this one up off eBay. Slightly damaged, the clip's broken on the back, but it's stuffed in there, so it hasn't gone missing. Didn't have the watch strap because they always break, as I remember from when I was a kid. You know, you got it as a kid, you put it on, you'd wear it to school. You know, it was a transformer you could take to school. You know, you could wear it as a watch at school, and the watch straps were only flimsy plastic, and they'd break ever so easily. I can remember it broke very quickly. But the bot, when I was a kid, I used to call this guy Digit, and to me he was one of Soundwave's minions, even though he didn't turn into a cassette. Gorgeous, gorgeous chrome on this guy. I put a battery in it. It's only a cheap and nasty one, but it's kept perfect time, you know. Brilliant. It just absolutely kept perfect time, unlike the knockoff one, which you put a battery in it and it didn't work at all. So, like I said, because it was one of my old gang bots and massive sentimental value, Takara, Chronoform, Watch Robo, second bot on the list. Now, the third one. Now, this is probably one of the first bots that I actually put on my TF16 list in the year. And the main reason why I put him on there was because he's got a certain tinge of irony going on. Toyworld Swamper. Now, I got this because I saw Bad Lamprey's review on this dude, and he, even though this thing's got a lot of issues, he just basically laughed at it, but he loved it because it's so goofy and you know, ridiculous. And he absolutely loves it, and I can see what he was going for. I mean, it's a nice chunky bot. I kind of like Toyworld stuff anyway. I mean, I've got a lot of Toyworld stuff. I'm a bit of a Toyworld fanboy on the quiet. He's really chunky. Love the colours. Nice aesthetic going on. The crocodile mode is a bit how's your father, you know, but the robot mode is great. Now, later on, I went off this guy a bit because of another crocodilian bot that I got that's on the list a bit later on. I went off this guy a bit, and at one point I took him off the list, but then I put him back on because I was struggling to find enough bots to make up the numbers. So this guy very nearly made it onto the honourable mentions list. But the reason why he come back on was because of the irony I spoke about. This was the first bot that I bought in 2016. It was the first bot I bought in 2016 off an eBay seller in the UK. But he couldn't sell it to me because he'd lost the item. It was at his mum's house and it had gone missing. So after a week after buying it, he gave me a refund. But he did say, if I list it again, I will sell it to you again at a slight discount. Anyway, end of the month, he relists the bot again, and I buy it off him a second time. And it was the last bot I bought in January. So it was the first and the last bot I bought in January. So because of that irony, that makes him a little bit more precious to me than before. And that's why he's still on my TF16 list at number 3. Number 4. Now, there's a couple of dragons on this list. Done a review on this guy as well. Matrix Monster MMS01 Firey Dragon. Now, I love this thing. It transformed into a cube. A sort of like a cube. It's just the aesthetic, I could gush all day about the aesthetic on this. To me, this looks like a cross between a Zoid and a Digimon. If such a thing existed, then this is what you'd get. And Ben of Ben's Collectibles got hold of one of these and reviewed it, and he got the Digimon connection straight away. That was part of the reason why he got it as well, and that's why I love it. I mean, just look at that head. I mean, that really thick, chunky brow, and those huge eyes, and then you open his mouth, and I don't know whether you can see, but his eyebrows go up when you open his mouth. Is decently articulated, very specific aesthetic going on. Absolutely love this thing. He's been on display in my room ever since I got him. Matrix Monster, Firey Dragon. Now, got another croc bot for you. Fansproject Function X8 Crox. Now, when I first saw the the grey plastic pictures of this, I didn't really like the look of the crocodile mode too much, because it's got its legs splayed out at an angle in front of it, and also in the robot mode you've got this obvious like windscreen chest going on. Didn't really like the look of it, but I went ahead and bought it anyway because it's Skull Cruncher, and Skull Cruncher is one of the characters I'm collecting, doing mold set collecting for. So I had to get this one, same as Swamper. So I got him, and then when I got him and started playing with him, boy, this guy's amazing. And this is the guy who almost ousted Swamper from the list, because he's just brilliant to work with. I quite like the Fansproject Function X figures. They're really neat and quite clever the way they work, and this guy, definitely one of those. So yep, there you go, Fansproject Function X X8 Croc. Now, something I did this year a few times is I would buy a bot, and then I wouldn't open it straight away. I had like a plastic crate at the bottom of my bed. I'd stick it in the box and I just wouldn't open it. And one of the bots I got back in 9th of May, and I didn't open it until Christmas Day, because on Christmas Day I decided, right, I'm going to get all these unopened bots and I'm going to open them all up and see what they're about. DX9's Terror. Now, I wanted to go, I'd seen videos of Carrie, and I thought the transformation looks brilliant. It goes from the Winnebago into a really cool looking bot. But for some reason, I just couldn't buy Carrie. And then I saw they did this version. And one of the reasons I went for this version is because they actually bothered to paint the wheel hubs silver. But I really like the black, purple and silver aesthetic. I'm not really into shattered glass or anything like that, because this is basically shattered glass Rodimus. But like I said, I didn't open this guy. I bought him back in May, and I didn't open him until Christmas Day, a couple of days ago. And then, I transformed him, and the transformation's amazing on him. He's a really big, solid bot, decently articulated. He actually came with little Target Master dude, or Target Warrior, or whatever he's called. He hasn't actually got a name, so he was like a Brucey bonus, but not really bothered about him. But he's a fantastic bot, and I started playing with him a couple of days ago and said, yeah, he's TF16 material. So even though, like I said, I got him back in May, I only put him on my list a couple of days ago. So there you go. DX9's Terror. Now, another very sentimental old school bot. This is the KO Kingdam M1910 Browning Gun Robo. Now it's based on the old Takara gun Robo of the same name, the MC05. This is the knockoff one. One of the ways you can tell is because it's got the yellow gun rather than a chrome gun. And I had one of these as a kid. When I was a kid, I had an original Takara one. It was my Megatron. I made a Decepticon symbol out of some sticky back paper. I just drew a Decepticon symbol, stuck it on his chest, and it was my Megatron. And it was one of my, one of the bots I had when I was a kid. Massive sentimental value for this. This particular one, another reason why it deserves to go on my list is I got this from Graham the Collector 75, a reviewer who I hold in massively high regard, who I cite as one of the main influences in me becoming a Transformer reviewer on YouTube and a Transformers collector as an adult. And he was selling it because he got hold of the other reissue one they did a couple of years ago, which has got the blue plastic on it rather than the red. So he decided he didn't need this one. He sold it off. The arms have been put on back to front, so the trigger mechanism wouldn't work, but I managed to fix that. So, and this thing, even though it's a knockoff, it's every bit as old as the original. I mean, the Kingdam ones, they came out 30 years ago as well, so it's as old as the original. It's vintage. It might be a knockoff, but yeah, yeah, and also I've got a huge thing for gun robos as well this year, as you'll see later. So yeah, so that's the Kingdam KD05 Browning gun robo. Right, where are we now? Right, now dragons. Here be dragons. I've been collecting these Korean bots. Been getting like buying 2 every month, and I thought I've got to have a KTRT bot, or Korean transforming robot toys, what I refer to them as, on my list. And I was going through and says, which one can I put on there? Which one do I like the most? I mean, I've had a couple of duff ones this year, a couple of ones that just I had massive high anticipation for them, and when they arrived, they just weren't anything like what I expected, or they were very disappointing. But you know, there's quite a few others that have been, you know, really, really good. And I decided that this guy is the guy that I like the best. Hello Carbot's Gold Rex. Now this works for me on 2 levels. 1, it transforms into a dragon, and I got a thing for robotic dragons. And 2, it's orange, and I like the colour orange, a bit like Retro Prime. So yeah, bought him. He's huge. He's amazing. He's decently articulated, you know, because sometimes Korean bots tend to be a bit lacking in intermediate articulation. But you know, he's got swivelly feet, and well, he hasn't got thingy swivels, but you know, you can get a decent amount of poses. He's got quite a few joints in his neck, and he's just huge. He's got wings. He's just a massive, big yellow dragon, and he's even got, you know, Pokemon move going on with dragon claws, big green claws. So he's amazing, fantastic, and he's my choice KTRT bot of the year. Hello Carbot's Gold Rex. Now, going back to this character collecting that I've been doing, well, the character that kind of started the whole thing off for me is Huffer. I really, for whatever reason, I bought a couple of Huffers early on in my, you know, in 2014 as a collector, and decided I wanted to collect more of them. And I decided to get all the Huffer molds, and I got them all bar 1, and 1 was eluding me until this year. And I finally got him. The 2007 Botcon exclusive Huffer on the Cybertron armor hide mold. This thing is great. I love this thing. It's absolutely fantastic, and a good use of the mold for Huffer. Hasn't got the typical, you know, sort of the hood going over the top. Obviously he's got light blue on his limbs rather than the dark blue, and hasn't got the silver on his forearms. But he's a decent looking Huffer, and the armor, I love the cyber key gimmick thing. Missile spam. Love that. Yeah, he's decently poseable. He's got a lot of ball joints on him, and you can get him in a pose. And he was the last one I needed to complete the set, so I've got 9 Huffers now, and this was the last one I needed. He's a great, lovely little mould. I've been meaning to get hold of the armor hide mould anyway, because I like Cybertron figures. So yeah, he completed the set. There's probably going to be more Huffers coming along in the next couple of years. I'll just get them as they come. Other characters I'm collecting is obviously Skullcruncher, Skybite. I'm also collecting Weirdwolf as well, as you'll probably see. I've got to might have one to show you in a moment. But yeah, not armor hide, convention exclusive 2007 Botcon Huffer. Now this next one, bit of a surprise, be a surprise to you as well. And this is one of those bots where you're going to say, what the hell is that doing on his 2016 list? Now I did it last year with a one-step changer. Same character, Power Battlers Drift. Now, hear me out. I was out on a kind of an impromptu toy hunt round Coventry, don't know why. When did I get this thing? 31st of May. And I went to the B&M home stores at Walsgrave. And I was just looking to see what they'd got, and they had a row of power battlers, and they had this guy there, and I was just looking at him, and then I was looking at his legs. I thought, well, he's got wheels there and wheels there, so he's got his front wheels and his back wheels on his legs. How the hell does the transformation work on this guy? And so I bought him, and when I got him home, he's got a really neat transformation. He's more or less the same size as the deluxe figure. And like the one-step changes, the thing that impresses me the most is the amount of moulded detail on this thing. It is absolutely riddled with it. I mean, if you was to give this a wash to bring it all out, this thing would just pop, big style. And for a power battler, he's got, you know, proper articulated legs. Fully articulated legs. I mean, yeah, his upper torso is all geared in for the gimmick light, which is that. But, you know, he's decently articulated. And he's a fantastic little bot to fiddle around with. So, when I was struggling to get bots together to fill up my list of, about a week ago, I was looking across the shelf and I clapped eyes on this guy and I thought, actually, I really like that dude, even though it's a crappy little power battler. No, it's fantastic. I love this thing. It's amazing. And that's why it's on my list of preferential bots that I bought this year. Right, rollout roll call. There was one bot I bought a rollout roll call as like a last minute thing on the Saturday afternoon, and then as soon as I got back to the room and started playing with it, it was like, wow, this thing's amazing. Generations Warpath. Oh my god. The transformation on this thing is amazing. Absolutely amazing. And one of the best things is this. You push the barrel in and his head pops out. I love the way that arms and legs just fold out of the tracks. It's genius. Absolute genius. This thing is incredible. You know, I knew it had been a highly regarded bot and lots of people had been raving about it, and that was part of the reason why I went for it, but I didn't realise it was as good as this. Absolutely fantastic, and I fell in love with it instantly, and it's like, bang, that's straight on my TF16 list. Yeah, I was messing around with this in the hotel room on the, it was, what was it? It was 10th of July at the Radisson Blu Hotel down near Heathrow. In the hotel room, messing around with this on the bed. Absolutely fantastic bot. Amazing, decently articulated, looks great. Perfect update for Warpath. Say no more. Now, TF Nation. Got lots of bots at TF Nation, many of which are worthy of going on a TF16 list. But the one that impressed me the most, and possibly one of the biggest bots I bought whole weekend, Web Divers Dragwon. Now, I've got a couple of Web Divers figures now. I've got Shark on. At Rollout Roll Call, I got Gladion, which is the main figure from the series. And then the guys on Phantasma Toys, he had one of these, and he was trying to sell me this at Rollout Roll Call, but it was exactly the same price, 60 quid, as Gladion, but I passed on it, and I said, okay, I might pick it up at TF Nation. At TF Nation, it had gone up to like 120 quid. He'd doubled the price on it. So I thought, no way, I don't want it that much. Anyway, on the Sunday afternoon, the guy comes wandering round. If you still want that Dragwon, it's 75 quid. I says, yeah, I'll do it for that. So I bought him. And, I mean, look at this. Look at the wingspan on this. This has got to have one of the biggest wingspans of any transforming toy. I mean, it's a big blue dragon. He's packing, you know, like 18-inch battleship cannons off his shoulder. I mean, limited articulation, but he just looks amazing. He has got the infrared sensor thing. Can't get it to work. Well, no, it's infrared. So it works with the computer game that they did. It's absolutely incredible. It's amazing. I fell in love with this thing straight away. It's amazing, and I just love it. It's huge, it's ridiculous, but I love it. Again, it just hits me where it hurts for, you know, my liking for robotic dragons. It really does. So yeah, that's why he's on this list. Now, if you saw my last video, you'll see that when I got to October, I held up 2 third-party Masterpiece Megatrons and said, one of these is on my TF16 of 2016 list. Can you guess which one? I says, well, all I will say is, one of them I got like 8 days before the other, and when it arrived, I took the box out of the parcel, and this is what I saw. I love this. The box. It's DX9's Mightron, but I mean, look at the box. They just basically ripped this off the cover of All Hail Megatron and slapped it on a box. I love the fact that you've got all these seekers down here, and the one here has got a little smirk on his face, so that's obviously Starscream. It's got this like, everything I touch is food for my hunger for power, 09 Mightron. And then it's got, on the top, it's got a line from Star Wars. Join me. With our combined strength, we can end this destructive conflict and bring order to the galaxy, you know. And come with us, it is the only way. I just love DX9's boxes. They're just amazing. And when I pulled the figure out, it was like, oh, I've got a third-party Masterpiece scale Megatron. And I just couldn't believe how heavy and solid this guy. He had massive first impressions on me. Huge wow factor when I pulled him out the box. And I didn't actually transform him until like a week later. He just sat in his box, and I got him out and looked at him a few times, but I didn't have the courage to transform him until about a couple of days later. Yes, he's got his issues. Obviously, the ugly backpack, all this, yeah. I personally, not a huge fan of his skinny hands. Right, he's got really skinny hands. I'm not a huge fan of that. There's a few bits on his transformation that aren't too great, especially this. The whole chest is on these like rotating cam things. Those things there, they sort of twizzle round and it goes up and down. It's really tight and awkward to work. His articulation's a bit odd in a few places, and then you've got these flat-fronted legs which don't quite have that nice curved aesthetic of the gun butt. But I can see past all those little quirks. I mean, the backpack, what I like to do is I like to get this and then do that with it, and then it almost looks like a bandolier strapped across his back. So it doesn't look too bad, and obviously you've got the lovely patented DX9 orange cap of safety, which is a little orange sticker around the top of the barrel. But I love him. He's absolutely solid. He's heavy. He's got like a good build quality. Like the transformation engineering on him. I like the way the legs, you know, and the arms do this. See? Let's get it back. See it? And the arms do it as well. Do it on that arm. See? So you can flatten it, or you can make it nice and blocky. A lot of the engineering, obviously, he's got a light up thing in his gun. He's fantastic. Absolutely love him. And they nailed the aesthetic with the head and the chest. Mightron has got this big ugly mould line through here that, you know, for that little bit that folds up from the bottom, that totally ruins the chest look for him. And he's got all those frippy bits on the helmet as well, which, to be fair, are on the Masterpiece, are on the MP05, so I can see why they did that. And the other problem I prefer the transformation on Despotron. Despotron, I've been practicing with him. I'm better at transforming him than I am this guy. This guy, I always get sort of stuck doing the chest bit, but I just love him. I just like the aesthetic. I mean, he's svelte, he's tall, he's thin. Whereas I find Despotron's look is a bit sort of more squat and chunky and not quite my cup of tea. And the other thing this guy can do, which Despotron can't do, world's smallest Megatron. He could totally wield it. Look. Despotron can't do that. So yeah, I absolutely love this guy. And if I had to have one bot that was my best bot of this entire lot, it'd be this guy. He's had such a massive impact on me. Huge wow factor. Lasting first impressions. I just love him. He's amazing. Possibly the top bot of the year. Oh, and he came with a little accessory which goes with Terror as well, so it's a good job I bought Terror. Okay, right, we're getting down towards the end. Little bot that I picked up, or two bots, this is one of them. This was a last minute addition to my 2016 list. I do like this thing a whole lot. Probably don't like it enough to put it on my 2016 list, but I had a bunch of bots. I thought, wow, out of these, which one really deserves to go on the list? And yeah. Unique Toys, Palm Collection, HM01 Tom. I bought this because it's Weirdwolf, and Weirdwolf is another one of those characters I'm collecting all the moulds for. This thing is amazing. It's a little legend scale Weirdwolf. It's got a working headmaster. I mean, it's only got the legs. No articulation apart from that, the monoleg. You can't turn the head in robot mode, but apart from that, he's decently articulated. He's got a really, really sweet transformation into wolf mode. The way that the both his legs are, that's the back of the dog mode, and then you've got the back legs on the other leg. Really, really clever transformation. Absolutely fantastic. Bit plain looking, not much in the way of moulded detail, but then again, I've got the G1 figure, and the G1 figure is like a plain Jane as regards to moulded detail as well, so you can't knock it for that. It's a great little figure. It's even got a little tech spec underneath, look, see? They thought of everything. I'm going to be getting the next ones that come out, because obviously there's a Skull Cruncher in the next one, even though there is a Hardhead in there, and I've got a bit of a problem with Hardhead as a character. I don't hate him, I just don't like him at all, and I can't bring myself to buy any of his toys, but I've got no choice because these guys come in 2 packs, so I have to buy the other one. But Tom is absolutely amazing, and yeah, I think he deserved to go on my 16 list. Right, now getting down to the end of the year, and 2 bots that I bought in the last week or so. Where are we now? Well, yeah, in the last sort of 8 to 9 days. Titan's Return. Got to admit, there's been some pretty good stuff coming out in Titan's Return. I've been collecting a lot of it, not all of it, but a lot of it. Went out on my pre-Christmas toy hunt. I'd got most of the Wave 2 stuff apart from Alpha Trion and Ravage. But I wasn't expecting to find the Wave 3 Deluxes in the shops. But I did. Found them at Toys R Us, and they also had them in Entertainer in the town centre at Coventry as well. For £13.33. After I'd paid like 17 quid for these other ones at Toys R Us. Anyway, I bought the 3 that were on offer. Hot Rod, Twinferno, and Triggerhappy. Oh my god, this thing is amazing! The transformation on this is easily the best transformation I've seen on a Titan's Return figure, and they've been pretty damn good in my opinion. They've been really, really good. I mean, I've got another one on my honourable mentions. This mould is amazing. and it just nails it. Totally nails it. If I had to gripe on one thing, I'd say the blue isn't dark enough, because I went to the NEC Toy Fair and I bought the G1 just for a comparison's sake. Yeah, if you look at the blue's slightly darker on the G1. But yeah, the way because the main thing is that what makes this thing great is he's got this rotating thing on the back. So you do that and then you swivel the whole thing round, so the back becomes the front becomes the back. It's just amazing, absolutely amazing, fantastic transformation. I honestly thought this thing was going to be a rework of the highbrow mould, but it so isn't. It's a totally brand new mould, and this has restored my faith in the Transformer designers at Tomy, Takara and Hasbro, because this thing is every bit as good as anything you can get from a third party in terms of its engineering. It's that good. Honestly, it is fantastic. They nailed it. Even though Triggerhappy as a character means absolutely nothing to me, I was reluctant to buy it because of that reason, but I'm glad that I did, because this mould is just superb. Absolute work of art. It's fantastic. And, you know, this guy's not too bad either for a G1 figure. So, yeah, he's definite for my TF list. I'm nearly up to 40 minutes on this video. Right, we're down to the last one. Something I picked up at the NEC Toy Fair just a couple of days ago. I bought it as a novelty, but then I got it home. And, right, I'm just going to have to use this little speaker here. And, yeah, device label Soundwave. I got him home. I thought, well, this thing's an MP3 player. I opened the thing and, oh look, there's a memory card inside, a 2 GB memory card. So, took the battery cover off. There was a really mouldy Duracell AAA battery in there. Flicked it out, cleaned all the terminals up, put a fresh battery in, plugged in my headphones, and pressed play. You have to forgive this speaker, it's a bit crap. It's got the Transformers 1986 and 2007 movie soundtracks on it. I couldn't believe that. I was listening to it on my headphones and it was booming out Vince DiCola, NRG, Stan Bush and all those others, and it almost brought tears to my eyes. It was such an emotional moment. I couldn't believe I was holding a transforming toy in my hand and it was doing exactly what its alt mode's supposed to do, play music. Fantastic, absolutely amazing. It's a great little deluxe scale Soundwave. It's a fantastic figure, and it works as an MP3 player. It's awesome, absolutely awesome. And now that I've got this, because on the shelf up there I've got the G1, I've got the titanium one. They both transform into his little, you know, cassette mode. I now want to get the world's smallest Soundwave, which also transforms into this mould, and the Masterpiece. So I've got all 5. I've got the, you know, the Trinity, shall we say. I've got all 5 versions of this mould. Amazing. I couldn't believe it. I just couldn't believe it that this plays Transformers the movie soundtrack. It's amazing. Absolutely amazing. Superb. I just couldn't believe it. So yeah, that is number 16. That is 16 bots that I like more than any others that I bought this year. Honourable mentions, Tom Henson bot lot, another bot I didn't open till Christmas Day. Dark of the Moon Air Raid, really like this thing, not least of which because it transforms into a 737 AWACS aircraft. Are you joking me? The bot mode's a bit a bit skinny, but the engineering's really cool on this, and it's a decent transformer in its own right. And it was, you know, that close to getting on the list, but because it was a last minute thing, I thought, well, it's not really fair because there's other bots I bought earlier in the year which are more deserving to go on the list than this guy, so that's why he didn't make the cut. Perfect Effects Jaguar, their Masterpiece Ravage. Again, I only opened this on Christmas Day. I've had it since TF Nation. I've got the repro labels, but I haven't put them on him yet. I know he looks amazing with the repro labels on. Haven't got around to doing it. I thought, well, if I put the repro labels on this, this is going to be TF material. Didn't get around to it, but this is an amazing thing. I mean, it's got so much joints on it. It's so supple, it moves around, and it transforms into a full-size cassette. So it's fantastic. I bought a couple of Ravages this year, actually. I'm beginning to get a liking for the character. So yeah, he's on the what ifs list. Titans Return Blurr. Love the engineering on this thing. Got him at Rollout Roll Call. Fantastic mould. Absolutely love it. My only gripe is, why did they have to use this dark blue on it? It just, because of that, it missed out on a TF16 place. But other than that, fantastic bot. Absolutely love it to bits. Just a shame they didn't paint it in the lighter blue like they did on the Takara version. And the final thing, something I got on my pre-Christmas toy hunt. Dinoblaster 05 Rex. If you've been watching Bolt Matrix's channel, he's been reviewing these guys. Emgo's done them. Quite a few other people have done them. They're being sold in the UK at B&M home stores. This guy was supposed to be 50 quid, but I picked him up for £24.99. He transforms into a gun. Very, very quickly. Right, so people put them around there. You get this gun, this huge gun. I like to take these and bring them down to the side, like so. So you get this. Then you get one of the foam darts. You put it in. You cock it, and then you fire. It's got some power, even though I've been watching reviews on these and they're not quite as powerful as a Nerf gun, but it's such fun to play with. I mean, just cocking it, you know. It's such fun to play with. And it's part of a combiner set that combines into a massive, great robot thing. There's 5 of them in the set. They each transform into a dinosaur and a blaster. I was tempted to get the full set, and then I watched the review of the combiner, and the combiner's a load of crap. But at least it's better than the Toyworld Dino combiner. So yeah, he's a lot of fun. I almost put this on my list, but you know, there's plenty more deserving bots that need to go on there. That is that. 45 minutes. Yeah, I do like to waffle. Right, I've come to a unilateral decision. I'm probably not going to do TF17 or 2017 next year. As you can see, this video is 3/4 of an hour long. Do you really want to sit through this? Yeah. I'll probably do just a top 10 next year. I really struggled to get 16 bots together to go onto this list. I'll probably just do a top 10. Another thing, as this is my last video of the year, just a couple of words I want to say before I sign off. I'm thinking about bringing back the monthly bot haul videos next year. Main reason being that last video I did where I basically did an overview of my entire year's worth of bots. That was so much hassle to do that. It was a massive undertaking to get all the bots together, to take the photographs, and it took days and hours and hours and hours, and it was so much graft and hard work to do. Much easier to just to get the bots together and just do one smaller video at the end of each month, which is probably what I'm going to do next year. So normal service reviews next year with my end of month bot hauls, probably. So with that, I will now sign off. I hope you've enjoyed my TF16 2016 list, even though it's just gone on way too long. I'm sorry about that. I can't help myself. That's just the way I roll. Deal with it. You might disagree with some of the bots I've put on my list. You might say, you know, what the hell's this doing on there? You know, and you know, why is this on here? And why haven't you got more, you know, big third-party stuff on there? That's just me, you know. We're all different. I have my things I like. You might have things that you like. We're all different. We're all individuals. I'm just doing my thing. I'm just showing you what I've done. Take it or leave it. So with that, I am TFR Wilderness. This has been my final video 2016. Hope you've had a good Christmas, and I will see you all in 2017. Goodbye, over and out.